I remember not once, but on multiple occasions, my presentations overshot time, and as a result of that, my audience were disengaged. Recently, I learned a new technique that is helping me make my presentations more engaging, and I always stick to the timelines. In this video, I'm going to share with you that one technique so that you can give more engaging presentations without overshooting time. So let's get started. This technique consists of three parts. First part is called the opening. Just a few months ago, I went to YouTube and started searching how to open a speech, how to start a speech. And I found the first video that came up. It was from a coach called Connor Neal. He was a public speaking coach, Connor Neal. When I watched that video, I learned that the best method or best technique to open a speech is with a story, a relevant story, I might add. So in the opening, you might want to include a relevant story and then tie that story to a benefit to your audience. What's in it for them? Tell them very clearly in the opening. Now, by doing that, they're likely to be more engaged. Step number 2 is body. When you think about the content or the body of your presentation, you should realize that your audience consists of 3 different types. It could be right-brained audience, left-brained audience, and then there are people who may not trust everything that you say. As an effective presenter, it's important for you to have different approaches for these 3 different types of audiences. For the right-brained audience, ideally you'd want to think emotionally, which means stories will appeal to them. When we think about left-brained audience, data, numbers, and statistics will make more sense to them. So here I want to let you know that telling stories, for example, your audience will retain 65 to 75% increase in retention will be there if you told a story in your presentation. You see what I did there? I'm trying to appeal to the left-brained audience with numbers. And finally, there are people who don't trust you in the audience. In that case, what you'd want to do is you'd want to borrow some credibility from an authority figure. For me, Steve Jobs is one of the greatest innovators and marketers. And he said that the most powerful person in the world is a storyteller. Storytelling is super important. Now I'm appealing to that audience that doesn't entirely trust me. There we go. That's my technique. 3 parts to it. Opening, start with a story, a relevant story, and then tell them what's in it for the audience. Number 2, when it comes to body, realize that you got to tell stories, give them statistics, and also borrow some authority from a credible source. And finally, 3 is closing. In the closing, ideally, you'd want to tell them how they could benefit by using whatever you're giving to them. So I'm sure if you use this 3-part technique, you will benefit by giving excellent speeches and presentations that keep your audiences engaged and you stick to the timelines. Here's a request to you. Go back to this video, watch from the beginning, and you'll see that I've used the exact same technique that I gave you in this video. Thank you for watching. My name is CM Manjunath.